Evening, everyone. I'll get Mel back on as soon as he comes back on. Yeah, no, it cuts off after an hour, but he didn't let me know that it was coming up to an hour, so that's why it's cut off because it's come up to the hour. But obviously, he didn't let me know. So as soon as Mal comes back on, which he is now, I'll get him back on. Cheers for everyone. Obviously, any questions, please keep on asking them. It helps me and it helps everyone else. No, it's Mal. I'm gonna get you back on in a second. It come up to the hour, so but it didn't let me know. So 1 second. One second, mate. Let's go. Yeah, sorry, mate.
No, that's all right. I thought it was my internet in.
No,
I thought the 4G was done or something. I was like, oh no, not
no,
the
it
other one.
come up to the hour, but it didn't let me know. Normally, it lets me know at the top, like in 1 minute to go or something. But yeah, it didn't let me know.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Matt, you got a question? Obviously, I don't know if this is someone that you know. Mal, how do you find the motivation after all that you have felt with?
I think it's a tricky one. I don't know. I think after I think the key thing for me, and I can't speak for everyone else, was once I had spoken to the right people, on the right phone lines and sort of found myself again, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulder, and I felt sort of like I was reborn. I felt like that I'd never done anything wrong. I felt like a new person. I didn't think that anyone could judge me. So I kind of feel like once you find that person that you can speak to, or once you start to open up what's really going on in your own little bubble, um, once you get that support, motivation to do anything will kick in. Like once I felt like a new person, like now with this whole football team, um, I felt motivated to want to do it because there was no one to say that I couldn't. And if they did say I couldn't, then wow, I'll prove you wrong because I can. You know what I mean? That I think it's just finding that person, speaking to them, letting out what you need to, and it's not. I can totally understand you can't get there as easy as the next person. I think it took me way over a year, if I'm going to be honest. I think
Mm.
it took about a year to really let out what was going on. But I think motivational wise, you'll find motivation once you speak to someone. The key thing is speaking.
Mm. Yeah. Cole said who was on last week. Yeah, last week. I've lost track of the time as well. But yeah, trust when I say people feel it's not self-harming or wanting to die, then it ain't as serious. But the point of wanting to disappear is just as serious as the point that needs to be made. You know,
Oh yeah, 100%.
yeah, like I feel obviously, as you touched on, I feel like you've got to find the right person to obviously to talk to and open up, but that's the way forward. Obviously, you've got to talk and you've got to open up. Otherwise, it eats away at you, and like you say, you go too far in.
It,
Obviously, if you
it,
haven't talked, Mal, obviously you didn't talk until obviously your mum did
yeah,
find. Do you
yeah.
feel that people could have seen, or do you feel they're not as educated on mental health as what they may be today, even though it was only 2 years ago? Um, they don't see the telltale signs that you might have been something might be wrong.
I think definitely more so now
Yeah.
that a lot of, well, not a lot of people, but more people I'd say are educated to a certain degree in that if they see something wrong, they're gonna check on you. And I think
Mm.
people that are in your circle of friends or family members that are closer to you are gonna sort of pester you away to get into it. But I kind of feel like back when it was happening, people weren't as educated. And me personally, I'm quite a stubborn person. So if someone asks me, am I alright? And I say to them, I'm fine. And they're like, but you're not. It's only going to wind me up. So I'm just going to keep saying to them, but I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then it's kind of like, maybe I scared away too many people from me because I retaliated in the wrong type of way. But I definitely think more so now than before. More people are starting to think, how can I educate myself in this whole sort of topic? But I do think it needs more. For someone that, like, for me, being in the sort of educational side of work, I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough. And that's not me saying it in a cocky way or a horrible way. I don't think there's enough. I think there's a lot of topics, not just mental health, like a lot of other topics that are out there that we're not doing enough. We're doing enough for other things. Don't get me wrong. The world wouldn't be where, well, the world's in a bad place at the moment. But there are certain things that education, everyone has to say thank you to. But this whole mental health, more needs to be done. Then, for example, you would know yourself. This whole, we're gonna do mental health for 1 week, but then what happens after that 1 week? That 1 week of every year isn't enough. I know other places are doing more than that, but in the educational factor, 1 week's not enough.
No, it's not. It's not. Jake, I believe this is your goalie. So it's it said, how do you find the motivation to start talking?
It's a tricky one, but I felt once I had spoken out to that first person on that first call log, I just think, I don't know if they were trained in some way, if they were skilled, or just their approach. I think these people that you go and speak to, once you said less than, I don't know, 30 seconds, 1 minute, they're really good at comfort. What's the word? Making you feel comfortable. So I feel like getting the motivation to go is just like, it's either once you're on there, you know you're going to get there, or you've just got to think, if I wasn't in this bad state, what would I be doing? So like for me, like kind of now with my football team and my football business, every day I get frustrated and angry to think, if I had started this 2 years ago, when I was like, if I wasn't in a bad place 2-3 years ago, if I had started it then, where would I have been now? And this is constantly this unfortunately is something that I constantly think about in the morning, in the evening, in the day, every hour, every 30 minutes as well. Whenever something good happens or whenever something bad happens, it's a constant like spiral in my head that I need to eventually push away. But at the moment, it's stuck.
You got to push away the negatives, because obviously all the good things, what you're doing now, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, the past is there, and it's always there. But you don't want that to take over the good things, what you're doing now, to be able to keep your positive mind pushing this forward, because you can't worry about where this might have been now, years ago, because you got to think, where is this going to be in 2 years' time?
Yeah, definitely.
So, obviously, try not to. Obviously, it's easy to said than done, but try not to think, where would this have been if I had done this 2 years ago? Just how it's going to be in 2 years' time, how big it's going to be in 2 years' time, and keep doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But he said, somebody else, so Orange Ball Coaching said, do you feel you're stronger now for overcoming your problems?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think for people that have known me from, I don't know, from a toddler or even just from a teenager, or I'm gonna say for within the last 5 years, I'm a completely different person. 100%, I'm a completely different. You would have thought I was reborn. I've changed completely for the better, and honestly, I feel like if I hadn't have made that change, God, it's scary to think where I'd be or what I'd be doing or anything like that. I don't even think about it. But no, 100%. It's changed my life completely, changed the person that I am completely, and it's only brought positive things. It's honestly only brought positive things. We're always going to have a few negative things and a few niggles here and there, but if I was to sort of do a chart and look at the pros and cons, I'm in a much better place now. Much better place now.
Dom said, obviously he's one of your players.
Yeah.
Thing. He said, love what you guys are saying. My question is, after getting yourself back on track, do you feel now that you're a person that can help others because you have been in the same situation?
Oh, 1,000%, 1,000%. It's one of those things where I'm not even saying it because I'm on the live here, if that makes sense. But when I get to the stage of being 100% self-employed, like I'm halfway. When I get to 100%, those little things of could I be someone on one of those call centers, or could I be a part of a charity to help it? Like whatever I could do, if I had the time, I would do it. But as soon as I have the time, I'm not shy of it. Like I think the person that I am now, like I'm always trying to help the next person as much as I can, whether it's money related, not money related, just if they could lean on my shoulder for a second, or just if they can come and tell me their story for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and I can tell their story and they can forget about what's going on, I'll do it. Like I would say I'm a mentor now more than I have ever been.
I think obviously George said it on the first part of his chat, and he turned around and said that there's got to be a lot more, and you've touched on it as well, in education. Obviously, yeah, it's got to be, the specialists have got to be there, but I feel, from my point of view, is that it's all good and well the specialists being there, because they've got to be there because of, you might say the wrong thing or whatever, but I feel you can't beat the experience of somebody who, like yourself, who may have gone through it, or gone through it, or somebody who's had a family member gone through it. So you can pass on them experiences as well,
Yeah, yeah.
as the specialist being there as well. So I feel there should be projects work together. What's your thoughts on that?
I would say I would agree with you in that, like it shouldn't necessarily be you have to get a certificate to be able to be in that situation. I think it would be much easier for someone like me to be on the other end of the phone, being in them situations, knowing what it's like when you're at rock bottom and you don't know what to do, you don't know who to speak to, you don't know how to control your emotions, your health. I would definitely say that they should look, well, not look, but they should research and find themselves people that are happy like myself to tell their story, to get involved in it. And I don't know, I think it's one of them ones where kind of what you're doing already, they just need to back you or back all these companies that are out there. I mean, the government's got a lot of money these days, whether they say it or not. I'm a strong believer of if there's money there, then they should be supporting many more people. Like, for example, if they supported you, they gave you X amount of money to make your take this Insta Live to like a radio show or anything like that, because not everyone has access to a phone and Instagram or whatever. If there was ways to put it out there, I know you put it on the YouTube and stuff, I'm not saying you don't, but if there was something that allowed it to be out there throughout the day, 24/7, I think a lot more people would be with us today.
Yeah. Adventure before said, what advice would you give to anyone that might be feeling like this, that are too afraid to speak up?
I would. It's a difficult one. I would say if you're too afraid to speak up, I don't know, to friends or family. Obviously, you've got the call line, but you might be too afraid to do that. I would say, because I looked into it at the time, there was sort of like these boxes that you could tell your story, put your information in the lockbox, and then like you return within like 3 to 5 days, and a person would like answer your question, and it's all anonymous. You wouldn't know. who replied, they wouldn't know who you was. There was no cameras or anything like that. But no, I would say either try and write down what's really going on. Write it down so you can see it, or do a little recording so you can see it, and take time and keep looking at it and see how. Because I feel like when I started doing like videos of myself of how bad it was getting, when you look at it maybe the next day, when not when you're feeling better, but maybe when you're looking first thing the following day, if you look at how bad you was, it might just give you that little kick to be like, oh, I need to do something. I need to do something. But it's a
Yeah.
tricky one. I couldn't give the best way out, but I can only help in that suggestion.
Orange Ball Coaching said your strength and bravery is clear. A lot of people are saying like clapping and legend. Adventure End before said, do you think you'll try and bring mental health into your club?
100%. I mean, kind of like the fella who I'm not sure what his name was, but the chap that was on here before me, I've kind of had the same sort of reaction to what he had, in that I wasn't, obviously we're a new club, and certain people
Mm.
that are in the club I've known for years, certain people I've only known for a couple months, and certain people I've only known for like a couple weeks. But
Yeah.
same sort of reaction as soon as I mentioned that I was doing this, a lot of people have opened up and started saying a lot more stuff than I already know. And I can totally understand that if you don't know me for a long time, then maybe you don't want to tell us your story. And prior to this tonight, there's a lot of people that didn't know any of what I'm saying now, if that makes sense. Sorry, I cut out there. There's a lot of things that obviously I'm saying tonight that not a lot of people know. Like my mum knows, but in regards
Yeah.
to adventure with dementia, that's actually my sister, and she probably has no idea half of the stuff that I'm saying. So it's it's a hard one. I think definitely moving forward with my club, like I said, we're a Sunday league team, but we're trying to do this whole business side and work with the community. I do a lot of stuff already, but it's definitely something that I want to bring in within my team, and something that I want to definitely offer within my local community. And like I said, if I get the right backing and the right support, there's nothing to say that it can't go global, not even just in England, or the whole, like, or do it in my city or my area. There's nothing to say we can't push it further.
Mm-hmm. Jam said, never knew, but I'm here, same as I know you're here for us boys.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't. That's the whole realization, and that's where I kind of wanted to tell you so much about when you came and gave me the offer and stuff to come on. That's where it wasn't something that I was easy or straight away wanted to speak about. But maybe if I can tell my story just a little bit,
Yeah.
it would encourage the next person to be like, well, hold on, he was in a bad place, but he's turned it round, or she was in a bad place, but she's turned it round. So there's nothing to say that I can't follow in their steps. They might have a completely different story. I'm not saying I'm any better than the next person, but to hear my story and to see that I'm okay now, I'm still here, I'm doing what I want to do, following my dreams and goals, there's nothing to say that they can't do the same if they speak up.
Yeah, no, I said this as well. I said when I set this platform up, if it can help one person, that's the right thing, or what I wanted to do from it. You know what I mean? And the same as I think it's opened my eyes up a lot, because some of the people I've known for years and I never knew the struggles they had gone through. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they've opened up, and you say hopefully it's like it's like
Oops.
rolls and it rolls, then hopefully by you talking about it now, it opens up somebody else who want to talk about it, and then the next
Yeah, definitely.
And that's how like a sort of a campaign should be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or awareness should be done. Like everyone needs to talk about it. Otherwise, it just you talk about it once and then it just goes. You know what I mean?
yeah,
As long as I can keep on doing these, I'm gonna keep on doing them. You know what I mean? So it opens up to everyone. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
definitely.
last question for you. Obviously, going forward, um, yourself and other people, if if they're struggling with mental health or somebody around you is struggling with mental health, how do you feel you can help going forward with that person, and what do you feel everyone should do going forward with anyone with mental health?
Um, so me personally, may it be a male or a female or I don't know, a child or an adult or anything like that, I'm always here. I'm one message away, I'm one phone call away, I'm one text away. Um, I've got my coaching badges, I've got my fitness stuff. If you just want an escape for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, I do not care. I will give you as many free sessions as it takes just to sort yourself out to go and speak to someone. So
Mm,
that I can personally offer. I'm not hiding it. It's not
mm,
a problem. I offer it to people anyway. A lot of people that I train on a one-to-one basis or I coach on a one-to-one basis. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the money. I've never been the person that I don't want to be rich. I don't need to be rich. I'm happy that I'm living. I'm happy that the people around me are living. So
yeah,
I personally, if people are struggling, I can whatever I can do on my platform, maybe the clubs or my personal one, give me a message. I'm here. I can support. Um, even if it's someone who has sort of suspicions of their friend suffering,
mm,
speak to me. Maybe I can help you in a way that I can give you a sort of second perspective or understanding of it. But no, I'd say I'm here. I can do as much as I can. I've got a squad full of boys that are around me that I'm sure that will help just as much. I've got family that will help. Just as many people as I can around me will help
mm,
whoever it is to try and get them to a comfortable and happy situation that they can carry on their not even their 9 to 5 but their life. Because for me, like I said, it put me on hold for a very long time, and I
mm.
feel like other people are just either at the start of it or maybe midway or close to ending the sort of I'm on hold, my mental health is at a stage of I can't do anything, kind of like with the whole football side. Like I've certain people, maybe football is the issue. Maybe it's not, but I
Yeah,
feel like there's a lot of people out there in the football game that maybe if I could help them from a football perspective, they could go pro or they could go semi-pro or they could make their little league team or their Sunday team or whatever. I just want people to understand, along with everyone else who's been on here, I'm not trying to say I'm any better than the next person, but I'm here if you need me. Um, and if you're and again, like if you're afraid to come and speak to me personally, my email's there. Send me an email, DM me, DM the boys, whatever it is. We are here. You know.
100%. Mal, thank you for very much for coming on, opening up. People know obviously your story. Hopefully, it's helped someone. And as I say, anyone watching it now or when you watch it back, Mal's there. I'm there. Anyone just wants to drop us a message, we're more than happy to do things and try to help along the way.
No, 100%. 100%.
Mal, keep safe. We'll talk soon, mate.
100%. Thank you for having me.
That's all right, mate. Speak
All
to you.
right.
Bye bye.
Nice one. Speak to you soon.
So